Chapter 3111, Holy Feather Sect. He actually survived. Yuan Chong exclaimed in his heart. After all, there were nearly 30 experts above the rank 3 True Saint realm, and there was also Xianxia, a genuine rank 5 True Saint. Facing so many experts alone, under normal circumstances, even a peak rank 4 True Saint could not survive. But now, Jian Wushuang could use the messaging token to send a message to him. Obviously, he was alive and well. Little brother Heavenly Sword Marquis said that he has already lost 4 God and asked where we are now. He will come and meet us, Yuan Chong said. Tell him the location, Prince Qing said. Yuan Chong nodded and immediately sent a message back. Then, Prince Qing and Yuan Chong quietly waited here. Not long after they waited, a figure came from afar and soon appeared in front of them. This figure was Jian Wushuang. Prince Qing, Mr. Yuan Chong, Jian Wushuang greeted them. Yes. Prince Qing nodded slightly in response. Little brother Heavenly Sword Marquis, you really survived from Xianxia and the others. Yuan Chong looked at Jian Wushuang in amazement. I'm good at speed, and my life-saving skills are not bad. In addition, I was lucky enough to escape from them, Jian Wushuang said with a smile. But how did you stall them before? Yuan Chong could not help asking. Being good at speed and having strong life-saving skills, it was quite acceptable to be able to survive from Xianxia and the others. However, Jian Wushuang did not simply run for his life before. He first stopped Xianxia and the others by himself before running for his life. It was impossible for an ordinary person to stop nearly 30 experts for a period of time and then escape unscathed. I was able to stop them because I have a special treasure that can seal time and space for a short period of time. Naturally, I can also trap Xianxia and the others for a period of time, Jian Wushuang said with a smile. Is that so? Yuan Chong raised his eyebrows. He looked at Jian Wushuang, but he could not tell whether Jian Wushuang was lying or not. Let's not talk about this. Your Highness Qing, the third prince has sent people to kill you, but I wonder if you plan to go to the Holy Feather Sect next? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes, of course. His Highness Qing nodded without hesitation. Sixth brother has been at a disadvantage in the fight with third brother. Recently, his situation has been getting worse and worse. Especially just now, when I learned of third brother's secret methods, I became even more determined to go to the Holy Feather Sect. Because only with the support of the Holy Feather Sect can sixth brother have hope of defeating third brother. Jian Wushuang took a deep look at his Highness Qing and nodded slightly. In that case, let's not delay. Let's continue. Then I'll have to trouble you on the way. Yuan Chong had become very polite to Jian Wushuang. The three of them immediately went back to the Holy Feather Sect. In the magnificent palace, a cold-looking man in a luxurious golden robe, the third prince, was sitting on the throne. For God and the others have all gone missing. The third prince's expression was obviously not good. Yes. Apart from 4 God, I have also sent messages to ask about the experts he brought with him. But until now, there has been no reply. I think that they are either in a special space-time and have completely blocked the communication with the outside world, or they are all dead, a purple-robed middle-aged man said respectfully. The information we received before was very accurate. Our Qing did indeed only bring Yuan Chong and the 10 rank 3 True Saints as personal guards, and 6 brothers people have been under our surveillance the whole time. They didn't make any movements before. When they knew our Qing was attacked, 6 brothers people immediately moved. This can eliminate the possibility that 6th brother deliberately set this trap. In that case, what happened to 4 God and the others? The third prince tapped his fingers on the armchair and pondered. After a long while, he raised his head again and said, Go, send someone to the place where 4 God and the others ambushed. We must find out what happened no matter what. Yes. The purple-robed middle-aged man nodded respectfully and quickly left. Jian Wushuang, Prince Qing, and Yuan Chong continued on their way to the Holy Feather Sect. They did not encounter any trouble along the way. A few days later, the 3 of them arrived in front of the Holy Feather Sect. Your Highness, that's the Holy Feather Sect. Yuan Chong pointed to an ancient sect in front of them. Yes. Prince Qing nodded with a hint of joy in his eyes. Although the Holy Feather Sect was not one of the 3 pavilions, 9 courtyards, or the 12 divine sects, it was still a famous sect in the first heaven. It also had a certain level of heritage. The sect in front of him was rather magnanimous at a glance. Let's go down. Prince Qing immediately rushed down the mountain gate. Just as he landed in front of the mountain gate, the dozen or so Holy Feather Sect disciples guarding it immediately surrounded him. "Who are you?" one of the white-robed disciples asked. "My name is Mu Qing. I am from the Xianwu Kingdom. I am here to pay my respects to Elder Qi Chen of your sect," said Prince Qing. "Pay my respects to Elder Qi Chen? Do you have Elder Qi Chen's token?" asked the white-robed disciple. "Yes." Prince Qing immediately took out a token. "Elder Qi Chen gave this to me. He also told me to take this token to the Holy Feather Sect to look for him." The white-robed disciple took the token and looked at it briefly. Then he nodded slightly and said, "It is indeed Elder Qi Chen's token. Wait here. I'll inform Elder Xin to take you in." "Thank you." Princess Qing thanked him. Not long after, a thin elder with white hair walked out of the Holy Feather Sect and came to Jian Wushuang and the other 2. "Who has Elder Qi Chen's token?" The thin elder glanced at Jian Wushuang and the other 2. "It's me," Prince Qing said. "Come in with me," the thin elder said coldly. "My lord, these 2 are my guards. Can they come in with me?" Prince Qing asked. "Yes, but remember, don't run around in the sect. Otherwise, if anything happens in the sect, it won't be good," the thin elder said in a low voice. "Of course, we'll pay attention to it." Princess Qing nodded quickly. Immediately, the 3 followed the thin elder into the Holy Feather Sect. An extremely grand sect also contained a lot of experts' auras. Of course, whether in terms of quantity or quality, the experts in the Holy Feather Sect definitely could not compare to the experts in the Young Divine Sect that Jian Wushuang had stayed in before. However, many experts in the Young Divine Sect were hidden in the dark, but Jian Wushuang could not sense them. "Your name is Mu Qing? Is she the princess of the Xianwu Kingdom?" The skinny elder who had been leading the way suddenly turned his head and asked. Chapter 31:12, Sky Puppet Formation N. Yes. Prince Qing nodded, but she did not dare to show any arrogance. She was very clear that if her identity as a princess was in the Xianwu country, it would naturally be incomparably lofty. However, if it was in the first sky, it would not be a big deal. After all, the first sky was vast and boundless. There were countless countries. Not many people would care about a mere princess from an ordinary country. At the very least, a sect like the Holy Feather Sect could not care about the entire Xianwu country, let alone a princess from a country. I have already confirmed with Elder Qi Chen that he indeed has the intention to take you as his disciple. However, whether you can really become his disciple will depend on your own ability, said the thin and weak elder. Prince Qing's expression changed, but his gaze became firm. Under the guidance of the thin and frail elder, it did not take long for the 3 of them to arrive at a huge training ground of the Holy Feather Sect. There were quite a few people on the training ground at this moment, and in the middle of the training ground, there was a special array formation. "Has the Sky Puppet Array Formation been set up?" The weathered elder called a person over to ask. "Elder Xin, it's already set up, but I wonder who is going to break through the Sky Puppet Array Formation." The deacon replied. "Her." The thin elder pointed at Qing. He said, "Mu Qing, Elder Kitchen has already ordered you to challenge the Sky Puppet Formation. If you can last 10 breaths in the Sky Puppet Formation, you can become his in-name disciple. If you can last 20 breaths, you can become his personal disciple. But if you can't even last 10 breaths, then he will be wrong. You can go back to where you came from." Trying to break through this formation. Prince Qing's expression was solemn as he immediately looked toward the formation at the center of the arena. The formation was extremely unique, and at the center of the formation were many incomparably tall and sturdy figures. These tall and sturdy figures were all powerful sky puppets. Every single one of them possessed true saint-level battle prowess, and there were 6 sky puppets within the formation. Remember, you only have one chance. Go! The old man waved his hand. Princess Qing was a bit nervous. She took a deep breath, but her eyes quickly became resolute. Under the gazes of many Holy Feather Sect disciples, Princess Qing entered the center of the array. Let's begin. As the old man ordered, the deacon immediately activated the sky puppet array. In an instant, the 6 heavenly puppets in the center of the formation woke up and attacked Prince Qing. Prince Qing also took out a jade green spear and fought with the heavenly puppets. As for Jian Wushuang and Yuan Chong, they watched from outside the formation. Prince Qing, go for it. Yuan Chong clenched his hands, his eyes full of expectation. The 6 sky puppets seem to be quite strong. Each one of them has the battle strength of a first-rank true saint. The 6 of them working together put a lot of pressure on Prince Qing. Jian Wushuang also watched everything in the formation. Suddenly, his pupils constricted again. No, the sky puppet magic formation is not that simple. The 6 heaven puppets have been increasing their strength during the fight with Prince Qing. Moreover, their speed of improvement is very fast. If they continue at this speed, their strength should reach the peak of rank 1 or even close to a rank 2 true saint in 20 breaths. It will be very difficult for them to resist the 6 sky puppets at the same time. Jian Wushuang could tell that the sky puppet formation was extraordinary. Inside the formation, Emperor Qing was fighting with the 6 sky puppets. At first, he was calm, but as time went by, it became more and more difficult. After 5 breaths, Emperor Qing was under a certain amount of pressure. After 10 breaths, Emperor Qing was completely suppressed by the 6 sky puppets. 10 breaths. Yuan Chong's heart skipped a beat. According to what the old man had said, as long as she could hold on for 10 breaths in the heavenly puppet formation, Princess Qing would be able to become the in-name disciple of Elder Qi Chen. Although the in-name disciple was far inferior to the personal disciple, it was still not bad. At the very least, they would not have come all this way for nothing. 12 breaths, Princess Qing, hold on, you must hold on. Yuan Chong roared in his heart. Very soon, Her Highness Qing had walked through 14 breaths of time within the sky puppet array. At this moment, she had already been completely suppressed and forced into a sorry state by the 6 sky puppets, but she was still doing her best to hold on. And when Her Highness Qing was trapped within the sky puppet array, in the void not far away, several figures were slowly drifting forward. Sect Master Moon Reflection, your Holy Feather Sect is really magnanimous. A calm laughter rang out. This laughter was said very casually, and it was unknown if it was really praising the Holy Feather Sect, and the one who spoke was a black-haired demonic youth. The aura emitted from this black-haired demonic youth was not very strong and was only at the first-level true saint realm. Ha ha, my Holy Feather Sect is only slightly bigger, but it doesn't have too many extraordinary things. Compared to many ancient sects in the first sky, it's too far away. For example, the Young Divine Sect directly established its sect in a mystic realm of heaven and earth. How amazing is that? Also, take the Heaven Cleaving Alliance where the 2 young friends are from. Legend has it that one of the 2 great headquarters of the Heaven Cleaving Alliance, the Heaven Cleaving Star, was moved back from the universe battlefield. It contains all sorts of mystical things. That's what makes it amazing, said a beautiful purple-clothed woman leisurely. After all, the Young Divine Sect has given birth to a principal's master. It's normal for it to have a mystic realm of heaven and earth. As for the Heaven-Cleaving Star of the Heaven-Cleaving Alliance, that's incomparable, the black-haired demonic youth said. Of course. The purple-robed beautiful woman smiled. Oh. The black-haired demonic youth's expression suddenly moved, but his gaze landed on the martial practice field in front of him. That martial practice field seems to be very lively. What is it doing? This. The purple-robed beautiful woman also glanced at the training ground, and her expression could not help but change. It looks like someone is barging into the sky puppet formation. Sky puppet formation? Let's go and take a look. The black-haired demonic youth immediately rushed over, and beside him was a white-robed woman. Although she did not say anything, she still followed him. The purple-robed beautiful woman and a few experts from the Holy Feather Sect behind her naturally followed. In the blink of an eye, these people had already arrived at the void around the training field. Is that your Holy Feather Sect's sky puppet formation? It looks very ordinary. The black-robed devilish youth stared at the scene inside the sky puppet formation, but the corners of his mouth revealed a trace of disdain. Although the strength of the 6 sky puppets in the sky puppet formation can continuously become stronger, no matter how strong they can only reach the 2nd level true saint level. It's more than enough to test the strength of ordinary disciples, but it's useless to some top geniuses like you 2 young friends. The purple-robed, beautiful woman said. Chapter 31:13. Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis? N is the girl who is challenging the sky puppet array, a disciple of the Holy Feather Sect. The black-haired demonic youth asked casually. I haven't seen this girl yet, so she shouldn't be a disciple of our Holy Feather Sect yet. However, she has already lasted for 15 breaths in the sky puppet array. Judging from her appearance, she should be able to last for 18 breaths. To be able to last so long in the sky puppet array, she is considered quite outstanding among the disciples of our Holy Feather Sect, said the purple-clothed beautiful woman. However, the black-haired devilish youth still did not care about it. He did not even bother to look at the sky puppet array again. Instead, he turned his gaze to the training grounds. However, with just a casual glance, his pupils suddenly constricted. His gaze was completely fixed on a person on the training grounds. Mirage water, mirage water. The black-haired devilish youth hurriedly shouted. What's wrong? The silent white-robed woman looked over. Look who it is. The black-haired demonic youth's voice was trembling. The white-robed woman looked in the direction the black-haired demonic youth had pointed, and her eyes instantly widened. Both of them were staring at that person, and that person was Jian Wushuang. It's him. It's definitely him. Although his appearance has been disguised, the extent of the disguise is not big. I can recognize him at a glance. The black-haired evil-looking young man and the white-robed woman instantly confirmed Jian Wushuang's identity. They had not only seen Jian Wushuang but also had a deep impression of him. Even if Jian Wushuang had disguised himself a little, they could still recognize him. Why is he here? The black-haired evil-looking young man was trembling. I don't know. The white-robed woman shook her head. What should we do? Should we go over? No hurry. He is standing outside the sky puppet formation. It seems that the woman who is breaking through the formation is related to him. Let's wait here and wait for the woman to finish breaking through the formation before we go over, the black-haired evil-looking young man said. All right. The white-robed woman nodded heavily as well. The 2 of them conversed softly. The purple-haired beauty beside them did not hear what they were saying, nor did she notice that they had lost their composure. Inside the sky puppet formation, Princess Qing gritted her teeth and unleashed her full strength. It was not just her strength, but also her tenacity. In fact, she should have been defeated by the 6 sky puppets a long time ago, but she was unwilling to give up. She had been fighting with all her might, putting her life on the line just to hold on for the last few breaths. 20 breaths. No matter what, I have to hold on for 20 breaths. Only in this way can I become the personal disciple of Elder Kitchen. Only by becoming the personal disciple can I have the right to ask Elder Kitchen to come out and ask the Holy Feather Sect to come out and help 6th brother. The conviction in Princess Qing's heart was abnormally firm. It was this conviction that had been driving her, causing her to not give up until now. 17 breaths. 18 breaths. Very quickly, Princess Qing held on for the 19th breath. He actually held on for 19 breaths. The beautiful woman in purple beside the martial arts practice field revealed a surprised expression. She had long seen through Prince Qing's strength. In her opinion, Prince Qing being able to last for 18 breaths in the sky puppet formation was already his limit, but she did not expect that he could last for 19 breaths, and now, she was trying to last for 20 breaths. Bang! A low and deep sound rang out, and a terrifying force smashed directly onto Prince Qing's divine body. Prince Qing's body instantly turned into a stream of light and was directly blasted out of the sky puppet formation. In the 20th breath, Qing still could not endure it. Fortunately, she still couldn't endure it in the 20th breath. However, with her strength, she was able to endure it for 19 breaths. This belief, is very strong. This girl's tenacity and willpower are also very outstanding. The purple-robed beautiful woman looked at Qing, who was blasted out of the sky puppet formation. A trace of admiration could be seen in her beautiful eyes. At this moment, Prince Qing had already stabilized her body, but her face was deathly pale. She stood outside the sky puppet formation with both her hands clenched tightly. Her fingertips were already as smooth as flesh and blood, and her body was trembling slightly. She was unwilling. Unwilling. It was clearly only the last breath, but she had failed. You persisted in the sky puppet formation for 19 breaths of time. According to what Elder Kitchen said, you are qualified to become his in-name disciple. Elder Kitchen is currently in closed-door cultivation. After some time, when Elder Kitchen comes out of closed-door cultivation, you will be able to accept him as your master. The weathered old man stared at Prince Qing. His expression was even colder than before. Honorary disciples and personal disciples seemed to be disciples, but there was a huge gap between them. One had to know that all the powerful elders in the Holy Feather sect had many honorary disciples under them. For example, Elder Kitchen had more than 10 honorary disciples, but he only had one personal disciple. The difference in status, of course, he did not think so. Previously, the Vicissitudes of Life elder thought that Prince Qing might become Elder Kitchen's personal disciple, so he was quite polite to Prince Qing. But now that he was only an in-name disciple, his attitude naturally changed. I have an urgent matter. Can I go and see Master now? Prince Qing asked. No. The Vicissitudes of Life elder shook his head. If he was a personal disciple, if he had urgent matters to attend to, he could naturally seek an audience with him. However, an in-name disciple was just a name. Elder Kitchen probably would not even take it to heart. How could he let him disturb his closed-door cultivation? Upon hearing the old man's reply, Princess Qing's face turned deathly pale, right at this moment. Su! 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 Several figures suddenly swept down from the surrounding void and arrived in front of Her Highness Qing. When the Vicissitudes of Life old man saw who it was, he immediately bowed and saluted. Greetings, Sect Master. The Sect Master was naturally referring to the purple-robed beauty. This purple-robed beauty was the current Sect Master of the Holy Feather sect, Xianxia. Most people called her the Sect Master of the Moon Reflection sect. Get up. Sect Master Xianxia waved her hand, and the weathered elder immediately stood up. Besides Sect Master Xianxia, the black-haired, evil-looking young man and the white-robed woman took a deep breath. They both stepped forward and approached Jian Wushuang with some restraint. Then, under Sect Master Xianxia's somewhat shocked gaze, they directly bowed to Jian Wushuang. At the same time, the black-haired evil-looking youth said, Evil Master, greetings, Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis. I didn't expect you to be in the Holy Feather sect. Sect Master Moon Reflection was stunned. Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis. You. Chapter 31:14. Personal Disciple Sect Master Xianxia looked at the two people around her in astonishment. Although they were only rank 1 true saints, she was very clear about their origins and identities. Even she was polite to them and did not put on any airs. But now, these two people actually treated each other so humbly. They called each other sir and even addressed each other as you. Who was this person? It's you too. Jian Wushuang glanced at the black-haired evil-looking young man and the white-robed woman. They were the two geniuses from the primitive palace he met in the Bone region, the Evil Master and Mirage Water. When the three geniuses from the primitive palace joined hands, they were easily defeated by Jian Wushuang. Later, on the heaven-cleaving star, they saw Jian Wushuang easily defeat Ji Yutong, the number 1 genius of the first stage of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces. Naturally, they were in awe of Jian Wushuang. It's rare that you still remember us. The evil master smiled. Not long ago, we saw you on the heaven-cleaving star. However, there were too many people, so we didn't come forward to greet you. Later, you entered the heaven-cleaving mystic realm and stayed there for a long time. We don't know when you left. Heaven-cleaving star? Heaven-cleaving mystic realm. When the Moon Reflection Sect Master heard these words, her pupils contracted secretly. Young friend Evil Master, Could it be that this young brother is also a member of the heaven-cleaving three palaces? No, no. Sir Heavenly Sword Marquis is not a subordinate of the heaven-cleaving three palaces, said the evil master. Then why did he go to the heaven-cleaving star and enter the heaven-cleaving mystic realm? The Moon Reflection sect master was puzzled. She was the sect master of the Holy Feather sect after all and had some knowledge. She had heard of the heaven-cleaving mystic realm before. The heaven-cleaving mystic realm was one of the greatest opportunities in the heaven-cleaving three palaces. Even within the heaven-cleaving three palaces, only a handful of people were qualified to enter it. Sect Master Xianxia, you may not know this, but although Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis is not a member of the heaven-cleaving three palaces, the three palace masters of the heaven-cleaving three palaces personally gave the order to make an exception for Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis to enter the heaven-cleaving mystic realm once. The evil master said with a smile. 3 palace masters make an exception. Moon Reflection sect master was stunned, and huge waves immediately surged up from the bottom of his heart. The 3 palace masters of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces were all supreme existences. They were the top-notch principles masters. Any one of these supreme experts was enough to sweep through the entire first heaven. For example, although the 3 pavilions and 9 courtyards of the first heaven had a certain level of strength, they were nothing in front of the heaven-cleaving alliance's palace masters. How could the 3 palace masters make an exception for the Heavenly Sword Marquis in front of them? Sect Master Xianxia stared at Jian Wushuang with a strange expression. Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis, why are you here in the Holy Feather sect? The evil master asked. I followed her here. Jian Wushuang glanced at Prince Qing. Her. The evil master looked at Prince Qing and asked curiously, is this girl related to you, Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis? Sort of. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. I'll be her guard for a while. Guard. The evil master's expression became even more strange. Sect Master Xianxia's eyes lit up, and then she stepped forward and asked, Girl, what's your name, and where are you from? Sect Master Xianxia's question made her nervous and excited. She suppressed her emotions and answered, Sect Master, my name is Mu Qing, and I'm from the true martial kingdom. Sect Master, this Mu Qing has Elder Qi Chen's token. She came here this time to enter Elder Qi Chen's tutelage. However, Elder Qi Chen asked her to break through this sky puppet array. She can only become his personal disciple after enduring for 20 breaths in the sky puppet array. This Mu Qing only lasted for 19 breaths. Therefore, she can only become an in-name disciple. The weathered elder at the side said immediately, In-name disciple. The Moon Reflection sect's sect master frowned slightly. This girl's tenacity and willpower are both very good. I also find her very pleasing to the eye. How about this? Let Elder Qi Chen give her to me. I haven't accepted a disciple in a long time either. Sect Master, you want to accept her as a disciple? The vicissitudes of life old man looked over in astonishment. Princess Qing also raised her head abruptly and looked at the Moon Reflection sect's sect master in disbelief. I want to take you in as a disciple, and a personal disciple at that. The sect master of the Reflection Moon sect looked at His Highness Qing. However, there are certain conditions for you to become my disciple. I still have some matters that I have yet to settle. After some time has passed, I will personally arrange a test for you. If you can pass my test, you can become my personal disciple. How about it? Thank you, Lord Sect Master. Prince Qing was pleasantly surprised. You are welcome. Sect Master Xianxia waved his hand. May I ask, Lord Sect Master, how long will it take for the test to be ready? Clearly, Prince Qing was somewhat anxious. Why are you so anxious? Do you have other matters? Sect Master Xianxia looked over. Yes, I do. Prince Qing hesitated for a moment. Then, he briefly recounted some of the things that had happened in the Jianwu kingdom. The competition for the ruler? So that's how it is. The expression of the sect master of the Moon Reflecting sect changed. You want my Holy Feather sect to step forward and help your 6th brother? Yes. His Highness Qing clenched his teeth. The sect master of the Moon Reflecting sect glanced at His Highness Qing and immediately smiled. Your talent is not bad. Moreover, I admire your tenacity and perseverance. Even if you are unable to pass my test and become my personal disciple in the end, it is not a problem for you to become a core disciple of my Holy Feather sect. Since you have encountered some trouble now, my Holy Feather sect will naturally step forward to help you. Xin sect. Sect Master Yingyu glanced at the weathered elder and said, "Go and invite Elder Zixing. Ask him to go to the true martial kingdom with you. Help this girl solve the troubles in the true martial kingdom and then come back." Yes. The weathered elder nodded respectfully and immediately went to invite Elder Zixing. "Thank you, Sect Master." Prince Qing was very excited, and Yuan Chong was also so excited that his body was trembling. "I told you there was no need to be so polite." The moon reflection sect master only smiled faintly, but her eyes were looking at Jian Wushuang, whether intentionally or not. Jian Wushuang had been standing there with his arms crossed. His expression was cold, as if it had nothing to do with what was in front of him. However, although Jian Wushuang did not make any movements, he could still see that the reason why the moon reflection sect master wanted to take Prince Qing as a personal disciple and ask the Holy Feather sect to solve the trouble in the genuine Force country was because of him. It was because of him. Not long after, the weathered elder came with Elder Zixing. The aura that Elder Zixing emitted was that of a genuine rank 6 true saint. Chapter 31:15, Raging Anger. Zixing, go to the true martial kingdom with the Xin sect. After you solve the girl's problem, bring her back to the sect, Sect Master Yingyu said. Yes. Zixing nodded. Sect Master Yingyu, the evil master said, we will also go to the true martial kingdom with Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis. We won't stay any longer. Okay. Sect Master Yingyu was very polite. Jian Wushuang and the others immediately set off. After Jian Wushuang and the others left the Holy Feather sect, an elder of the Holy Feather sect came forward. Sect Master, are you really going to take Mu Qing as your personal disciple? The elder asked in surprise. Yes, I am. Sect Master Yingyu nodded. Is it because of Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis? The elder asked. Yes, but not entirely, the sect master said with a smile. She did admire Mu Qing, but under normal circumstances, even if she did, she would not directly say that she wanted to take him as her personal disciple. The reason why she gave Mu Qing such an opportunity was because of Jian Wushuang. She even sent people to the true martial kingdom to solve his problems, largely because of Jian Wushuang. Who is the Heavenly Sword Marquis? The elder asked, puzzled. I don't know, but I can be sure that his background is extraordinary. The moon reflection sect master's expression became solemn. The evil master and Mirage Water are already the genius disciples of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces and the primitive palace. And this Heavenly Sword Marquis is clearly an extraordinary genius as well. Moreover, he was able to make the evil master and Mirage Water revere him so much that he even respectfully addressed him as Sir and even addressed him as you. Such treatment is something that not even the super monsters of the Chaos Palace can do. In addition to what the evil master just said, this Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis actually made an exception for the 3 palace masters of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces to give him a spot in the heaven-cleaving mystic realm. This is simply inconceivable. If I'm not mistaken, this Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis either has a background that reaches the heavens, or he has incredible talent. It's even possible that he has both. If the first type has such a huge background, then it wouldn't be wrong for us to think of ways to befriend them. And if the second type, that incredible genius, just because he didn't join the 3 palaces, if he joined the 3 palaces, his status wouldn't be inferior to the principal's master. What? The elder stared. Just a rank 3 true saint, but his status was comparable to the principal's master? So no matter what, this Heavenly Sword Marquis isn't someone our Holy Feather sect can offend. Moreover, he's worth us thinking of ways to befriend him. I just accepted Mu Qing as a disciple, so I'm doing this Heavenly Sword Marquis a favor. Of course, although this favor won't make this Heavenly Sword Marquis grateful, in the future, when our Holy Feather sect interacts with him again, it'll definitely be much easier, Moon Reflection sect master said. I see. The elder immediately understood. Sect master is wise. In the void outside the Holy Feather sect, Jian Wushuang, Mu Qing, Yuan Chong, Xianxia, Mirage Water, and Elder Xing from the Holy Feather Sect were standing there with Xinzong. Elder Xing is a genuine rank 6 true saint, and Lord Xinzong is a peak rank 5 true saint expert. With these two lords following us to the true martial kingdom, the threat of the third prince to your highness will cease immediately. Yuan Chong looked at Elder Xing and Xinzong beside him. He looked extremely excited. Thank you, Mr. Heavenly Marquis. Mu Qing looked at Jian Wushuang and said gratefully. She was not stupid. In the Holy Feather Sect, she could see that the reason why the sect master of the Moon Reflecting Sect was so polite to her and even gave her the opportunity to become his personal disciple was very important. It was because of the guard, Heavenly Sword Marquis. The sect master of the Moon Reflection Sect was obviously a favor to Heavenly Sword Marquis. Although her talent was good, she was not too outstanding in the Holy Feather Sect. For example, Elder Qi Chen of the Holy Feather Sect only accepted her as an in-name disciple according to the result of her breaking through the sky puppet formation. But now, she had a great chance to become the personal disciple of the sect master of the Moon Reflection Sect, which was equivalent to ascending to the heavens in one step. I didn't do anything. As for the Holy Feather Sect, you fought for it yourself. Jian Wushuang's voice was calm, and he did not take credit for it. Indeed, he did not do anything. He just stood there and did not say much. As for the Moon Reflection Sect Master and the others wanting to give him face and help him, he just did not refuse. No matter what, I still have to thank you. Mu Qing said once again. All right, let's talk about the rest later. Let's go to the true martial kingdom first and settle the troubles there first. Elder Xing said from the side. Mu Qing nodded slightly. Immediately, the group of people headed straight for the true martial kingdom. In the magnificent palace, the third prince was still seated on the throne at the very top. However, the third prince's expression was extremely ugly. Trash. A bunch of trash. A low shout filled with anger exploded within the large hall. Many experts stood in the middle of the hall, and their bodies trembled slightly when they heard this shout. HMH, that god is really stupid. He's a rank 5 true saint, and he brought close to 30 rank 3 and rank 4 true saints to kill Qing, who only had 10 rank 3 true saints protecting him. It's fine that he didn't kill Qing, but he even lost himself. Close to 30 experts, and not a single one survived. Moreover, not even the slightest bit of information was transmitted. I really don't know what they did before they died. Even if it was 30 pigs, before they were killed, they should at least roar twice. At this moment, the third prince's fury was indeed overflowing to the heavens. He had just received news that Mu Qing had already arrived at the Holy Feather Sect. Moreover, he seemed to have a certain relationship with the sect master of the Moon Reflection Sect within the Holy Feather Sect. The sect master of the Moon Reflection Sect had actually sent 2 experts to follow Mu Qing toward the true martial kingdom. Your Highness, Xianxia, and the others have already died. It's useless to be angry at this time. As for why they were completely annihilated and everyone had died there, we can forget about that for now. But right now, our top priority is to think about what we should do next. The purple-robed middle-aged man who was leading the group said. His voice was unusually grave. His Highness Qing has already gone to the Holy Feather Sect and has already formed a relationship with them. The Holy Feather Sect has even sent a rank 6 and a peak rank 5 true saint from the Xianwu Kingdom. That peak rank 5 true saint is still alright. With our strength, we can find someone to contend against him. However, the key point is that rank 6 true saint is not easy to deal with. The purple-robed middle-aged man's words caused everyone in the hall to frown, and everyone rushed to the bottom of the heart of extraordinary pressure. Chapter 31:16. Help. Although a rank 5 true saint was the top elite warrior in the Xianwu country, there were still some in the entire country. With the power of the third prince, it was not difficult to find an elite warrior who could compete with a rank 5 true saint. However, a rank 6 true saint. It must be known that the strongest warrior in the Xianwu country was the king of the Xianwu country who had suddenly disappeared. He was only a rank 6 true saint. Previously, the king of the Xianwu country was also the only rank 6 true saint in the Xianwu country. Now that the king of the Xianwu country had disappeared, How could the Xianwu country still have the combat power to fight against a rank 6 true saint? Thus, if that rank 6 true saint from the Holy Feather sect had arrived in the Xianwu country and gathered with the 6th prince to attack them directly, they would not have any room to resist. Humph, a level 6 true saint. So what? A fierce light flashed in the 3rd prince's eyes like an electric arc. If a Qing could find the Holy Feather sect to help, wouldn't I find helpers? A rank 6 true saint was indeed invincible in the Xianwu country. However, this was the first heaven, where the number of experts was as high as the clouds. It would not be difficult to find 1 or 2 rank 6 true saints. The 3rd prince's face was gloomy, but he already had an idea in his heart. Immediately, the 3rd prince took out a communication talisman and used it to communicate with others. After a short moment, the 3rd prince revealed a bright smile. Everyone, there is no need to rush. It won't be long before the helpers that I have invited will arrive. Hearing the 3rd prince's words, the powerhouses in the palace looked at each other in dismay and felt much more at ease. The 3rd prince began to wait. This wait only lasted for 10 days. In front of the huge mansion where the 3rd prince lived, 2 figures sped over and stopped in mid-air. Mu Feng. A majestic voice came from one of the people's mouth and resounded in the world. Mu Feng was the 3rd prince's real name. There were many people who knew this real name, but usually, no one dared to call him by his name. Most people called him His Highness or the 3rd Prince. But now, the person who came called the 3rd Prince by his name. Moreover, when the 3rd Prince heard this voice, he was not angry, but happy instead. Whoosh! 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 Surrounded by a group of people, the 3rd Prince's figure immediately appeared in front of the 2 people. Ha ha, brother Yixiao. The 3rd Prince laughed heartily, and his eyes were filled with joy. The person whom the 3rd Prince called Brother Xianxia was actually a blood-haired young man dressed in luxurious clothes. This blood-haired young man had a cold expression, and he carried a blood-colored battle saber on his back. His aura was especially cold. Chu Xianxia was a genius disciple from the Purple Heaven Pavilion. He had a cold temperament, but when he saw the 3rd Prince arrive, a rare smile appeared on Chu Xiao's face. Mu Feng, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Is it good to see you? It's all right. It's just that I've encountered some trouble recently. The 3rd Prince deliberately sighed. After that, he turned his gaze toward a white-bearded old man beside Chu Xiao. That white-bearded old man's gaze was cloudy. Standing there, his entire person looked like a celestial being. Brother Xiao, who is this senior? The 3rd Prince asked. This is Deacon Long from my Purple Sky Pavilion. I know that you've encountered some trouble. You're worried that I won't be able to resolve it by myself, so I've invited Deacon Long to come with me. Deacon Long is a genuine rank 6 true saint. Moreover, his strength isn't ordinary. Chu Xiao said. Rank 6 true saint. The 3rd Prince's eyes lit up, but he immediately bowed. Mu Feng greets Deacon Long. Get up. The sage-like white-bearded old man, Deacon Long, glanced indifferently at the 3rd Prince. This old man has come because of Xiao. Tell me, what do you want this old man to do for you? There is no rush. I have already ordered someone to prepare a banquet. Let's drink while we talk. What do you think? The 3rd Prince said. Okay. Xiao nodded. Immediately, the 3 of them returned to the magnificent palace. In the magnificent palace, wine and meat were served on the table. Only then did the 3rd Prince begin to recount the trouble he had encountered. This is how it is. If the Holy Feather sect had not appeared, the position of king of the Xianwu kingdom would have been mine for sure. But now, it's troublesome. After the 3rd Prince had finished speaking, he quietly raised his head and looked at Chu Xiao and Deacon Long. Deacon Long's death was very ordinary. It seemed that what the 3rd Prince had said had nothing to do with him. Chu Xiao also slightly frowned. Mu Feng, this matter of yours is indeed troublesome. After all, the Holy Feather sect is located near the Xianwu country. Even if the Holy Feather sect forcefully forced the Xianwu country to become its subordinate, I don't think anyone would say anything. And now, your sister has become a disciple of the Holy Feather sect. She might even become the personal disciple of the sect master of the Holy Feather sect. So, It's only natural for the Holy Feather Sect to help her resolve the internal conflicts in the Xianwu country. No, since Qing can make the Xianwu country submit to the Holy Feather Sect, then I can also make the Xianwu country submit to the Purple Cloud Pavilion. The third prince said. Submit to the Purple Cloud Pavilion. Chu Yixiao's expression changed. Immediately, he said with a smile, Mu Feng, it's not that you don't know. Although our Purple Cloud Pavilion is much more powerful than the Holy Feather Sect, our Purple Cloud Pavilion is too far away from the Xianwu country. We don't know how many territories are separated in the middle. How could we care about this Xianwu country? That's true, but it's not absolute. Brother Yixiao, Deacon Long, the reason why I invited the two of you here today is that I hope that you can think of a way. Oh right, this is the gift I prepared for the two of you. I hope that you can accept it. Mu Feng waved his hand and took out 2 interspatial rings. Chu Yixiao and Deacon Long each had one. Deacon Long glanced at the interspatial rings and nodded slightly. As for Chu Yixiao, the corners of his mouth curled up, but his expression could not help but darken. Humph, the Holy Feather Sect is just an unranked sect in the first heaven. They have quite a wide scope of control. Mu Feng, don't worry. Since I'm here with Deacon Long today, I'll naturally lend you a hand. Many thanks, Brother Yixiao. The third prince was overjoyed, but he secretly pursed his lips in his heart. He and Chu Yixiao were indeed once friends. Before Chu Yixiao joined the Purple Cloud Pavilion, the two of them had taken risks together, but it was only an adventure. After all, they did not really share life and death together, so they could only be considered friends. Of course, the other party would not work for him for free. Therefore, although he did not refuse at the beginning, he said that it would be difficult to deal with all kinds of trouble. But now, as soon as he took out the meeting gift, Chu Yixiao immediately changed his attitude. Sure enough, money could make the devil move the millstone. Mu Feng, let's not waste any time. Gather your men and we'll set off directly, Chu Yixiao said. Set off directly? Kill our way to our door now. The third prince was startled. Of course. Deacon Long and I don't plan to stay for too long this time. Moreover, if we delay, things will change. Chu Yixiao said with a smile. Okay. The third prince nodded and immediately went to prepare. Chapter 31:17. Arrived after a month of traveling, Jian Wushuang and the others returned to the true martial kingdom and the mansion where the sixth prince lived. The sixth prince was already waiting there. Sixth brother. Mu Qing came to the front of the sixth prince. Qing, are you okay? The sixth prince asked. I'm fine. Mu Qing shook his head. Then, he began to introduce, sixth brother, let me introduce you. These two are Elder Zi Xing from the Holy Feather Sect and Lord Xinzong. They were personally sent by Sect Master Ying Yu to help us. The sixth prince immediately looked at Elder Zi Xing and Xinzong. Elder Zi Xing and Xinzong did not conceal their auras either. The sixth prince could clearly sense the auras of those rank 5 and rank 6 peak true saints. Zhenwu Kingdom's Mu Yun greets the two lords. The sixth prince immediately bowed respectfully. Elder Zi Xing glanced at the sixth prince and waved his hand. However, he did not say anything. Xinzong also appeared very cold. The reason why they had come to Xianwu country was that they had received the orders of the Moon Reflection Sect Master. As for Mu Yun's so-called identity as the sixth prince of Xianwu country, they did not care about it at all. And these two are the two geniuses from the heaven-cleaving 3-palace original palace, the Evil Master and the Mirage Water. Mu Qing said again. Heaven-cleaving 3 palaces. The sixth prince's expression immediately changed. He had also heard of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces. It was said that geniuses were as numerous as the clouds there. Any one of them would be a favored son of heaven. Their status was also not something that a mere prince from an ordinary kingdom like him could compare to. Greetings. The sixth prince also bowed humbly. Yes. The evil master nodded slightly in response. Sixth brother, and this is Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis. He was invited by you before. The reason why I was able to arrive at the Holy Feather Sect smoothly and even ask the Moon Reflection Sect Master to send experts to help is because of Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis, Mu Qing said. Oh. The sixth prince raised his eyebrows and looked at Jian Wushuang with a humble smile. Jian Wushuang did not care at all. "Everyone, I have arranged a banquet to welcome you. Come with me," the sixth prince said with a smile. Immediately, everyone followed the sixth prince into the mansion below. In a magnificent hall, singing and dancing were very lively. The sixth prince sat at the top of the hall with a wine cup in his hand and said, "Mu Yun is very grateful that all of you have come to help me this time. Here's a toast to all of you." With that, the sixth prince drank the wine in his hand. After drinking it, he wiped his mouth and looked down. He found that the people sitting on both sides of the table, whether it was Elder Xing, Xinzong, Evil Master, or Mirage Water, did not pay any attention to him at all. They did not pay any attention to him at all. Elder Xing and Xinzong looked extremely cold. The former closed his eyes directly, and even if he opened his eyes slightly, he would look in Jian Wushuang's direction. Meanwhile, Evil Master and Mirage Water had been looking at Jian Wushuang with an embarrassed smile. Evil Master had been toasting Jian Wushuang. This scene inevitably made Sixth Prince feel a little awkward. With a sigh, the Sixth Prince put down the wine cup in his hand and asked in a low voice, "Ah Qing, what's going on? Why do I feel that this banquet has nothing to do with it? Is the main character of the banquet Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis?" "Sixth brother, I've told you before that although Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis was invited by you, his identity and ability are extraordinary. I don't know the details, but I can tell you that even the sect master of the Holy Feather sect, Ying Yu, seems to want to curry favor with Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis," Mu Qing said softly. "Even sect master Moon Reflection wants to curry favor with him." The sixth prince was stunned. He glanced at Evil Master and Mirage Water and nodded slightly. "I can see that Evil Master and Mirage Water are genius disciples of the Heaven-Cleaving Three Palaces' original palace. Their status is very high, but they are obviously full of respect for Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis and very respectful. This Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis background is really extraordinary." "That's right," Mu Qing said. After knowing this, the sixth prince did not feel uncomfortable. He calmed down and completely gave the main character to Jian Wushuang. However, the banquet did not last long. Whoosh! A figure hurriedly walked in from outside the hall, walked to the sixth prince's side, and whispered something in his ear. The sixth prince stood up and his eyes sharpened. "Everyone!" The sixth prince looked around and said, "I'm afraid this is the end of the banquet. I've received news that the third prince has gathered all his experts and is coming to kill us." "He's coming? He's going to kill us so soon?" Mu Qing was stunned. Jian Wushuang and the others in the hall also looked up at the sixth prince. He must have heard that the Holy Feather sect is on my side and sent 2 experts. He had no choice but to act immediately. "I also heard that the third prince also asked for help," the sixth prince said. The third prince had many spies around him. Of course, he also sent some experts to infiltrate the third prince's subordinates. Therefore, when the powerhouses under the third prince's command came out in full force, he had also received the news immediately. "Elder Xing, Lord Xinzong, I'm afraid we will have to trouble the 2 of you with this big battle," the sixth prince said. "The 2 of us have come under the order of the sect master to settle the dispute in the Jianwu country. Naturally, we will take action," Elder Xing said in a low voice. "Then I will have to trouble the 2 of you." The sixth prince let out a light breath. In terms of strength, the power controlled by the third prince was indeed much stronger than his. If the third prince had gone all out to attack him previously, he would not have had much confidence. But now, with the existence of Elder Xing and the Xin sect, the 2 experts of the Holy Feather sect, especially since Elder Xing was a genuine rank 6 true saint, this made him very confident. "Yuan Chong, immediately send the order to gather all the experts under my command. Also, inform Xingang to get the Purple Blood Camp ready," the sixth prince ordered. "Yes." Yuan Chong nodded and immediately went to send the order. Following the sixth prince's order, the experts under his command, including those who had been loyal to him since a long time ago, as well as the many experts he had invited with great rewards, all began to gather quickly. In less than 2 hours, the many experts had already gathered. In this huge mansion, there were already over 200 people standing together, and almost all of them were at least a rank 2 true saint. There were not even many rank 2 true saints, and most of them were rank 3 true saints, and there were also some rank 4 true saints. There was also an army of more than 40 people in purple armor in the air. Chapter 31:18. Purple Sky Pavilion. The Purple Sky Pavilion was the most elite and strongest force of all the forces controlled by the sixth prince. Although the Purple Sky Pavilion only had about 40 people, the weakest among them was a rank 4 true saint, and there were quite a few peak rank 4 true saints. As for a rank 5 true saint, just in the Purple Sky Pavilion alone, there were 4 of them. In addition to the Purple Sky Pavilion, there were 3 other rank 5 true saints gathered here. In other words, there were 7 experts at the rank 5 true saint realm under the command of the sixth prince. Among them, Xianxia, the commander of the Purple Sky Pavilion, had reached the peak of rank 5. No wonder the sixth prince was able to fight against the third prince for so long. It turns out that he has such a powerful force under his command. Jian Wushuang was secretly amazed. There were 7 rank 5 true saints, dozens of rank 4 true saints, and more than 200 rank 3 true saints. Such a powerful force was enough to conquer a small country in the first heaven. Not long after the sixth prince gathered his power, a large number of experts suddenly spread their auras in the void in front of the mansion. They are here. The experts in the mansion raised their heads in unison. A large number of black dots suddenly appeared in the void in the distance. Those black dots were densely packed, and in the blink of an eye, they appeared in front of the mansion. Then, a large number of figures began to appear. Buzz, buzz, buzz. One after another, powerful auras spread out from these figures. At this moment, there were already more than 300 cultivators who had arrived, and all of them had extremely powerful auras. Even the weakest one was a rank 3 true saint, and there was not even a cultivator below the rank 3. There were also quite a few rank 4 true saints. As for the rank 5 true saints, there were actually a total of 9 rank 5 true saints spreading their auras from the crowd in front. 9 rank 5 true saints, along with a large number of 4th and rank 3 true saints. More than 300 experts appeared in the air in front of the residence, instantly causing the experts under the sixth prince's command to feel an enormous pressure. As expected, in terms of strength, the third prince's strength is even stronger. Many people sighed in their hearts. At the front of the crowd, the third prince, who was wearing a luxurious golden robe, had a cold expression on his face. He looked at the people in the residence through the layer of restrictions above the residence. Sixth prince, as your elder brother, I personally came to see you. It's fine if you didn't come to see me, but why did you activate the array to shut us out? The third prince's magnificent voice spread throughout the world. HMPH, you came to see me? You came all the way here with all the experts under your command just to see me? Aren't you afraid that others will laugh at you if you tell others? The sixth prince snorted coldly. Ha ha, I do have a motive. However, if you think that the array around your mansion is enough to stop me, you are a little too naive. The third prince sneered. I don't want to hide in this mansion forever. Since you took the initiative to kill your way here today, then the two of us should really put an end to it. The sixth prince said in a deep voice. Put an end to it? You didn't have the guts to say this before. It seems that a Qing invited an expert from the Sacred Feather Sect to give you enough confidence. The third prince said in a cold voice. That's right. Today, with Elder Zi Xing from the Holy Feather Sect and Lord Xinzong here, you can forget about stirring up any more trouble, the sixth prince said in a low voice. Elder Zi Xing and Xinzong also took the initiative to release their own divine power auras. It had to be said that the divine power auras of a rank 6 true saint and a peak rank 5 true saint were very powerful. Sensing these two auras, a trace of panic flashed through the eyes of the experts under the third prince's command. But right at this moment, Holy Feather Sect, he. A mere unranked sect, yet it's so imposing. An indifferent laughter suddenly sounded out. The person who laughed was surprisingly Chu Yixiao, who was standing beside the third prince. At the same time that Chu Yixiao spoke, Deacon Long suddenly raised his head. Boom! Boom! A similarly tyrannical divine power aura erupted. This divine power aura was not weaker than Elder Zi Xing's, and it was even slightly stronger. A rank 6 true saint. Another rank 6 true saint. The experts under the 6th Prince's command were all shocked. The experts from the 3rd Prince's camp all let out a sigh of relief when they sensed that there was another rank 6 true saint, and that his aura was even stronger. Since there was a rank 6 true saint in both camps, there was nothing to be afraid of. "Who are you?" Elder Xing narrowed his eyes and stared at Deacon Long, who was emitting divine power. "Deacon Long of the Purple Sky Pavilion." Deacon Long said coldly. "Purple Sky Pavilion." Elder Xing's expression changed. The experts of the 6th Prince's camp were all shocked. Even Jian Wushuang's pupils constricted. Purple Sky Pavilion was too famous in the 1st heaven. In the 1st heaven, the 3 pavilions, 9 courtyards, and the 12 divine sects stood at the top. The 12 divine sects alone were very powerful and had a deep foundation. It was not surprising that the 12 divine sects had given birth to principal's masters. Even if the principal's masters had either died or lost their whereabouts, the 12 divine sects all had top-notch immortal saints guarding them. The 12 divine sects were like this, and the 3 pavilions and 9 courtyards, which were above the 12 divine sects, were naturally even more powerful. Especially the 3 pavilions. They were the 3 overlords of the 1st heaven. Jian Wushuang had read the information of the 3 pavilions before. To be able to become one of the 3 pavilions, the Purple Pavilion must have a living principal's master guarding it. Just this alone was enough to scare people. The Purple Sky Pavilion also had immortal saints who were invincible. There were many top-level and peak-level immortal saints, and their overall strength was extremely powerful. Compared to the Purple Sky Pavilion, the Holy Feather Sect was nothing. After all, the Holy Feather Sect was far inferior to the 12 divine sects. The most powerful sect master of the Holy Feather Sect, Moon Reflection Sect, was only a rank 7 true saint. Moreover, in the entire Holy Feather Sect, there was only one rank 7 true saint. Someone from the Purple Sky Pavilion. Elder Xing's expression was ugly. However, he immediately said in a low voice, "What does the fight within the Xianwu country have to do with your Purple Sky Pavilion? How is it not related?" Chu Yi laughed coldly. "Listen carefully. From now on, the Xianwu country is already under the control of my Purple Sky Pavilion. Moreover, my Purple Cloud Pavilion has recognized Mu Feng as the new king of the Xianwu country. Whoever dares to disobey will be going against my Purple Sky Pavilion." As soon as these words came out, the 6th Prince's camp immediately had a commotion. If the Purple Sky Pavilion really had such an order, then not many people present would dare to disobey it. What a joke! Elder Xing laughed coldly. Chapter 31:19. The Great War had begun. It's true that the Purple Cloud Pavilion is tyrannical. However, the territory controlled by the Purple Cloud Pavilion is far away from the true martial kingdom. How could the Purple Cloud Pavilion be interested in such a distant place? Moreover, the territory near the true martial kingdom is the territory of the Heavenly Cloud Pavilion. Even if the Purple Cloud Pavilion really wants to extend their hand, they cannot treat the Heavenly Cloud Pavilion as a decoration. Elder Xing looked at Chu Yi with a cold gaze. "Therefore, I am certain that the genuine force country that you said is dependent on the Purple Cloud Pavilion is just empty words. Or perhaps, it is just the two of you making the decision on behalf of the Purple Cloud Pavilion." When they heard Elder Xing's words, Chu Yi Xiao and Deacon Long frowned. "Humph, this old guy is quite smart. So what if these words are from the two of us? I am a core disciple of the Purple Cloud Pavilion. Naturally, my words represent the Purple Cloud Pavilion." Chu Yi laughed. He, a mere core disciple can't represent the entire Purple Cloud Pavilion. Even this rank 6 true saint beside you can't represent the entire Purple Cloud Pavilion. Elder Xing snickered. A rank 6 true saint is merely a deacon in the Purple Cloud Pavilion. He can't even be considered as one of the upper echelons of the Purple Cloud Pavilion. If he wants to represent the Purple Cloud Pavilion, he must at least have an elder who is at least a rank 7 true saint. The corner of Deacon Long's mouth twitched slightly. Elder Xing was right. He was only a deacon, and his position in the Purple Cloud Pavilion was not high. Of course, he could not represent the Purple Cloud Pavilion. However, no matter what, he was still a genuine rank 6 true saint. He also cared about his face. Of course, He was a little angry that Elder Xing had looked down on him in front of so many people. Cut the crap. The Purple Cloud Pavilion of the true martial kingdom is doomed. If you know what's good for you, get out of here. Anyone who still stays in this mansion in 15 minutes will be killed without mercy. Deacon Long shouted. Ha ha, what big words. A burst of laughter suddenly sounded. The evil master who had been standing beside Jian Wushuang stepped forward. He sneered and said, "You are a deacon of the Purple Cloud Pavilion, right? How dare a mere deacon talk so brazenly and kill you without mercy? Humph, if the pavilion master of the Purple Cloud Pavilion said this, I'm afraid he would have some courage." Boy, who are you? Deacon Long looked at the evil master. Although the evil master was only a rank 1 true saint, he was too confident. Even a rank 6 true saint like him dared to talk so brazenly, which made Deacon Long not dare to underestimate him. My name is the evil master, and this is Mirage Water. Both of us are from the primitive palace. Today, the two of us have decided to stay in this mansion and not leave. If you have the ability, you can directly kill the two of us later. The evil master sneered. Primitive palace. Deacon Long's expression immediately changed. Of course, he knew about the primitive palace of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces. They were the genius disciples of the heaven-cleaving alliance and the primitive palace. Under normal circumstances, the geniuses of the primitive palace could become the disciples of some invincible saints. If they were lucky, they could even become the disciples of the principal's master. They would definitely have great achievements in the future. Such genius disciples, the heaven-cleaving alliance paid great attention to them. Now, the 2 genius disciples of the primitive palace were right in front of him. If he killed them, he could immediately imagine what would happen to him. Without a doubt, the heaven-cleaving alliance would definitely kill him, and they would even vent their anger on the Purple Cloud Pavilion. And when the time came, forget about protecting him. The Purple Cloud Pavilion would probably think of ways to capture him and personally send him to the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces to apologize. I absolutely can't kill these 2 people. Deacon Long had already made up his mind. He immediately said seriously, "So they are the genius disciples of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces. For the sake of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces, I won't make things difficult for you, but everyone else must die." Do it. Deacon Long glanced at the 3rd prince beside him. The 3rd prince did not want to talk nonsense with the 6th prince for a long time. After hearing Deacon Long's words, he waved his hand. Except for the 2 geniuses of the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces, kill everyone else without mercy. A cold voice reverberated in the sky. Instantly, the eyes of the 300+ experts behind the 3rd prince emitted a rainbow light. A shocking killing intent instantly swept out. Kill. Kill them all. All of these people must die. Numerous low cries reverberated in the sky. These over 300 experts all attacked at the same time. A terrifying aura that contained killing intent shot straight into the sky. A large number of experts attacked at the same time. The layers of arrays in the sky above this mansion could not withstand the attacks of so many experts and instantly collapsed. Once the array was broken, the experts from both camps faced each other. Attack, kill. 6th Prince also let out a fierce shout. Instantly, many experts from 6th Prince's camp also moved, including the Purple Blood Camp. The Purple Blood Camp was worthy of being 6th Prince's most elite force. The experts of the Purple Blood Camp were not only strong individually, but they were also well trained and knew how to cooperate with each other. Although this small Purple Blood Camp only had about 40 experts, the battle power that burst forth in an instant was extremely powerful. As soon as the 2 sides' experts came into contact, the Purple Blood Camp charged at the front like a sharp knife. It directly charged into the 3rd Prince's camp and then began to slaughter wantonly. The 3rd Prince's camp was actually instantly shattered into pieces by the Purple Blood Camp's charge. After that, a fierce chaotic battle began. Kill! Kill! The shouts were deafening. Nearly 600 true saint experts from both camps were fighting each other. Jian Wushuang, the 6th Prince, Mu Qing, the Evil Master, Mirage Water, Elder Xing, and Xinzong had not made a move yet. They just stood in the air above the mansion and looked at the battlefield. 6th Prince, The purple blood camp in your hands is quite powerful. There is a big gap between the two sides, but your purple blood camp has completely equalized the battlefield. The evil master looked at the battlefield in front of him. He laughed casually. The Purple Blood Battalion is the most elite force in the Xianwu Kingdom. Father had given me this force in the beginning. However, after my father went missing, the Xianwu Kingdom underwent a great change. Many soldiers in the Purple Blood Battalion defected. Some of them were pulled over by Third Brother. Moreover, during the battles between Third Brother and me, some of the soldiers also died. That is why there are only a few people left. However, even if there are only 40 or so soldiers left, the combat power of the Purple Blood Battalion is still very strong. All these years, the reason why I have been able to fight against the Third Elder has been because of the Purple Blood Battalion. The Sixth Prince said solemnly as he clenched his fists tightly together. The evil master raised his brows but did not say anything more. At that moment, on the other side of the battlefield, Deacon Long's figure moved and he charged straight toward the battlefield. Deacon Long moved and Elder Xianxia immediately made his move as well. Chapter 31:20. The situation of the battle had changed. Elder Xianxia's aura surged, and his entire body was covered in a layer of faint purple flames. He was like a purple god of war. He held a long spear tightly in his hand, and with a swipe of his hand, he instantly drew out a large sea of purple flames. In an instant, he appeared in the center of the battlefield. As for Deacon Long, he held my pitch-black long staff in his hand. His body was also suffused with a large amount of black light. This black light seemed to devour the surrounding heaven and earth, wanting to sink the entire heaven and earth into darkness. The two rank 6 true saints instantly engaged in a fierce battle. Boom! Boom! A shocking explosion instantly reverberated throughout the entire battlefield. As soon as the two of them exchanged blows, the terrifying power formed a shockwave, scaring the surrounding rank 3 and rank 4 true saints into fleeing. Even rank 5 true saints did not have the courage to appear around them. In just an instant, the two of them had already exchanged blows more than 10 times. A mere rank 6 true saint of the Holy Feather sect dares to act so arrogantly in front of this deacon. This deacon will let you know today that the sky is very big. Deacon Long's voice was cold. The long staff in his hand suddenly expanded and endless darkness surged, instantly extinguishing a large amount of purple sea of fire in front of him. Humph! Elder Xianxia's expression was rather gloomy. After exchanging blows, he realized that although Deacon Long was also a rank 6 true saint, his battle prowess was slightly stronger than his. Of course, Deacon Long was not much stronger than him. He was not afraid of a head-on battle. Kill! With a stern shout, Elder Xianxia and Deacon Long once again engaged in a fierce battle. The two instantly engaged in a heated battle. The two rank 6 true saints had their own battlefields, and no one dared to interfere with them. Of course, because the two of them were restraining each other, the two of them could not affect the other battlefields. Because of the Purple Blood Camp, the entire battle could be said to be evenly matched. No obvious advantage could be seen. But at this moment, on the other side of the void, the third Prince Mufeng coldly smiled. He glanced at the purple-robed middle-aged man beside him. Let them do it. Yes. The purple-robed middle-aged man nodded. In the next moment, he took out a token to send a message. In the middle of the battlefield, the battle between the two sides was originally raging. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. Over 40 soldiers of the Purple Blood Camp had originally gathered together to form an army formation that swept in all directions. But at this moment, 3 soldiers of the Purple Blood Camp suddenly turned their spearheads and directly attacked their comrades beside them. Hong! 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 The timing of these 3 soldiers' attack was just right. Moreover, their weapons were obviously infused with that special poison. In this way, the 3 of them instantly killed 2 soldiers of the Purple Blood Camp and heavily injured one. Most importantly, the entire Purple Blood Battalion's army formation was completely thrown into chaos. Bastard! Damn it! Cries of shock and anger rang out one after another. It was not just the Purple Blood Battalion's side, but also the camp of the Sixth Prince, who had been fighting fiercely in the air, suddenly had some people attacking their own experts, and there were quite a number of them. At least 10 people had betrayed at the same time. This group of bastards. The sixth prince's face turned purple with anger when he saw this scene outside the battlefield. He had long known that the third prince had planted spies under his command, and he had also been on guard. However, he had never expected that the number of spies arranged by the third prince would actually be so great. There were more than 10 experts. Most importantly, within the Purple Blood camp, there were actually 3 people who had defected. One had to know that his side was at an absolute disadvantage in both camps. The reason why they were able to fight evenly with the third prince was because of the Purple Blood camp. Now that the 3 people in the Purple Blood camp had defected, this had dealt a huge blow to the Purple Blood camp. The Purple Blood camp's army formation instantly collapsed. It was the same as losing 6 soldiers in one breath, and their combat strength instantly decreased. Without the rampage of the Purple Blood camp, the disparity in strength between the 2 camps began to show. Kill! 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 Ha ha! Kill them all! The experts of the third prince's camp became more aggressive and began to kill crazily. The sixth prince's side was obviously completely suppressed and was about to be defeated. It's over. The sixth prince's face was pale. How could this be? Mu Qing's body was trembling, but she could not help looking at Jian Wushuang. When the defeat was about to become permanent, Mu Qing could still hope for Jian Wushuang. Evil Master, Mirage Water, Jian Wushuang said. Mr. Heavenly Marquis. Evil Master and Mirage Water immediately looked over. Do me a favor and take care of them for me, Jian Wushuang said. No problem. Evil Master and Mirage Water readily agreed. They were geniuses from the heaven-cleaving 3 palaces, Primitive Palace. Neither the third prince nor the Purple Cloud Pavilion dared to kill them. If they were not too weak and could not influence the situation, they would have already gone to kill them. Now that Jian Wushuang asked for their help, they naturally agreed without hesitation. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly, and then the Blood Mountain sword appeared in his hand. Mr. Heavenly Marquis, are you finally going to make a move? The evil master immediately looked forward to it. Mr. Heavenly Marquis, make a move. Mirage Water was also very excited. Jian Wushuang did not say anything, but he had already headed straight for the battlefield. He really made a move. The evil master and Mirage Water's eyes were shining brightly. This made the sixth prince and the green prince beside them extremely puzzled. The 2 of you, from the looks of it, you seem to be looking forward to Mr. Heavenly Marquis' strength. But no matter what, Mr. Heavenly Marquis is only a rank 3 true saint. He won't be able to change the outcome of the battle. The sixth prince said with a frown. What do you know? The evil master glanced at the sixth prince. He said with a sneer, I'm afraid you don't know. A long time ago, Mirage Water and I fought against Mr. Heavenly Marquis. At that time, Mirage Water and the Mountain King were all rank 1 true saints, but the 3 of us were all geniuses from the Primitive Palace and our battle prowess was extremely strong. Any one of the 3 of us could suppress a rank 3 true saint head-on. If we were lucky, we could even kill a rank 3 true saint head-on. However, at that time, the 3 of us were completely crushed by Mr. Heavenly Marquis. We didn't even have a chance to struggle. At that time, Mr. Heavenly Marquis was only a rank 1 true saint. Think about it, a rank 1 true saint is already so powerful. Now that Mr. Heavenly Marquis has reached the rank 3 true saint, how powerful is he? Hearing this, the sixth prince and green prince were a little confused. A genius of the Primitive Palace could suppress or even kill a rank 3 true saint at the rank 1 true saint realm. But 3 geniuses of the Primitive Palace working together were easily defeated by Jian Wushuang, who was only at the rank 1 true saint realm. This. The sixth prince was shocked, but he also looked forward to it.